This video is an explanation and demonstration for the Principles of Design mini-series. The lesson objectives are to demonstrate an understanding of specific principles of design by creating a series of drawings that illustrate the principles. We're focusing on a subject for a series of drawings, and you're going to explain how your drawings, your designs, use each principle. Yes, you're creating drawings, but at the same time, they are a type of design because you're illustrating that principle. The materials you're going to use are pencil for drawing, colored pencils for applying color, a ruler if you need straight lines, and a black pen if you want to add outlines. There are 9 principles of design that you've learned about, but we're only going to focus on 4 of them. You get to choose those 4. Here are a few examples. So you can see in this one, we have 4 examples of the principles of design, but they're all using the same subject, which is a paperclip. This one explores 4 principles of design. The common subject is this moon silhouette shape. Now this example likely uses movement because if we were to look at the silhouettes, follow the direction that they're flying in, right? There's a sense of movement. Our eye follows the image, but notice how it still uses that shape of the moon in the background. This example likely uses variety because yes, we can see the subject, which is the moon silhouette, but there's a variety of colors, variety of shapes, also a variety of outer space, night sky imagery. This example uses the common subject, which is eyes, and you can see how they're using that eye in different ways, and so each one uses a different principle of design. Now this example likely uses symmetrical balance because if we were to split this image down the middle, it's relatively the same on both sides. It's not perfect because it is a handmade drawing. You might have had to guess. I'm going to say this example likely uses unity because it's all in black and white and there's lots of grays. Though we could argue this might use directional movement because we can follow the pathway of the eye. So some of these might be a little bit open to interpretation. The common subject in this one is a rubber ducky. And again, you can see how they used that rubber duck in different ways. This one is likely pattern or rhythm because it's the same shapes that are repeating. The subject for this one is a human heart. And again, you can see how they explored that subject in 4 different ways, illustrating 4 different principles of design. We're going to guess and say this might use emphasis because when you look at it, the part that you focus on first is likely the blue veins that are around the heart. So there's multiple subjects you can use. You could focus on food or a holiday or plants or a popular character, or you could choose a much more simple shape. You could even focus on a symbol such as a zodiac sign. So first you're going to actually make a plan on paper. So this is a little demo on how to do that. So your planning paper is going to look like this. You're going to choose 4 principles of design to use for your mini series. So you're going to circle 4 words below. Note for balance, you're using symmetrical or asymmetrical. For rhythm or pattern, choose one or the other because they are a little similar. Then in these boxes below, you're going to label each principle and you're going to create quick thumbnails that show how you will illustrate that principle of design using your chosen subject. Now, what are thumbnails? Thumbnail sketches are meant to be small, quick, rough sketches. Please do not spend a lot of time on this step. Yes, you're making a plan, but I want you to put more time on the final paper. This is just a quick sketch to show me. You're going to label the subject that you're exploring, and once I have approved your plan, you'll be able to move on to the final paper. So this was my example. I chose for the subject lemon slice. And I chose my 4 principles of design. and I made my quick little sketches. No, there's no color. The drawings are not very good. They're definitely not accurate. And I made some notes, like for variety, I was going to use different colors. For proportion, right? Things are large and then getting smaller. So I already made some notes for myself. Obviously, on the final paper, you'll have more space for drawing, and that's when you'll spend way more time being more accurate with your design. Now, keep in mind, we should recognize the same motif, the same subject in all 4 designs, but they do not have to look exactly the same. With this example, the shapes of the human heart are relatively the same, but if you look at this example with the paperclip, we don't see the exact same parts of the paperclip in all 3. And that's okay, because on your final paper, you'll also explain how you used those different principles of design. So after your plan has been approved, you'll receive the final paper, you'll move on to drawing and applying color. Get creative, use your creativity. Think how you can explore these principles in different ways. Each square needs to be completed. Art materials should be used neatly. And as I said, you'll have space on the back to include an explanation for each design.